For the past 3 weeks I've been making a freight map, and it's got a lot of interest online. So I wanted to talk about it for everybody. First of all, what actually is the freight map? It is exactly what it says on the tin. At its core, it is simply a map outlining the extent of the rail freight sector. For me, it's an opportunity to develop my skills, but for you it might be a worthwhile graphic, it might be something to support your endeavours, or maybe you're a railway enthusiast and you're curious, or perhaps you're just a commuter at a station and your train's been delayed by a late running freight train and you want to know what's on it. That's what it is, nothing more, nothing less. But as I said, it'll have different meaning to different people. But why? Why am I making a map for freight? I think we all take logistics for granted, and very few people outside of our industry probably think about the journey of a tin of beans, their next new car, or indeed the fuel in the plane that's going to take them on their next holiday. And I want to demonstrate that journey. Now, we've got maps for passenger services, we've got maps which are works of art and have made their way into pop culture. Just look at the tube map and look at how many hundreds of videos there are on YouTube about Harry Beck's tube map. But we don't have anything for inanimate goods. We don't have anything for those day-to-day items. So I want to make this infographic for me and for everybody else. And I want to make it open source, so when it's complete, other people can use it too. I don't want to commercialise it because I'm not really in competition with anybody. Why am I doing this? Much like, the Great British Bake Off, which is a celebration of pastry and cake and God knows what else, why can't I have a celebration of rail freight and logistics and transport? And I think there's 3 key reasons really why we should be celebrating it. The first is that rail freight is diverse. If you think about all the different commodities we have on our network, ranging from second-class post all the way to nuclear waste, that's incredibly diverse. Why wouldn't we want to celebrate that? The second is that rail freight's quite great in its ability. We routinely squeeze 10,000 tonnes of aggregates through the centre of London every day. You try doing that on a lorry, or indeed an entire fleet of lorries. And the third bit, which I think should be really celebrated, is that rail freight is innovative. Things are getting really exciting in our sector. Veramis Rail are booting up an express parcels sector, whereas Rail Ops Group are importing their first tri-mode locomotive, the Class 93. These are things which are tackling the norm. I think we really should be looking at this sort of stuff and celebrating it. But as for me, what am I making a map for? What do I get from it? I quite like to push myself, and I like to learn new things and gain new skills. Building an interactive freight map gives me the challenge to learn some new software and new ways to present stuff. I'm a creative person. But also as well, I'm a massive sucker for maps. So why not combine my love of the railway and everything I've learned with it with this new software, where other people can benefit from it too. So I want to make that infographic for myself and everybody else. And I want to make it open source, so when it is complete, other people can get involved with it. I don't want to commercialise it because I'm not in competition with anybody, really. Why am I talking about making it open source? I believe it's paramount to make something new or learn something new every day. And that's how we inspire innovation, that's how we drive pride, and that's how we encourage others to do their best so we can have a better tomorrow. The fact that it's open source also means that it's quite egalitarian. There's no entry fee, there's no membership needed, there's no upfront costs, and everything in the freight map could be made with free software. All the initial data is publicly available. To be honest, it could be made with a Raspberry Pi, and that's a computer that costs about £40. So those with little cash can get involved, the same way as all those who've got the gear and no idea, which was a bit like me at the start. So how far am I in? I'm about a third of the way in, but you know, this is a personal project. It's got nothing to do with work, so I'm kind of doing an hour every evening, maybe a little bit more on the weekends. But when I do get into a flow, it does sort of kick off into a bit more of a pace. Where am I though with the map? All flows in Wales, Scotland and the western routes have all been filled in. Following them, I'd probably just need to do all the other routes, do a little bit of fine lining, and then maybe just play a little around with the, you know, with the artistic and the creative side in it to make it a bit more fancy. Upload it to GitHub and have a go at some fancy coding, I guess. I kind of want it ready by September, but I'll throw another video of all the progress in before then anyway. But also probably just worth bearing in mind that I've got my career, I've got my anniversary, and I've got my birthday as well to deal with. I want to do a couple more videos, and I'd love a little trip across to Innertrans as well if I get the chance. Watch this space. I'm sure it'll be coming soon. If you want to reach out to me though, you can contact me on the details on screen, and also my Patreon should just be around about here somewhere. And I'll see you soon.